Hello, this is Wmpyr, here to talk about why you want to add the force-to-force block to your arsenal. Okay, the force-to-force block, first of all, it can be done many ways. It could be done single stick or it could be done double stick. And recently, my recent findings is the double stick force-to-force block. Now, I was doing it before, I just didn't realize that that's what I was doing, that it was a force-to-force block. So there's different angles that you could do the force-to-force block with. Not just different angles, there's also different grips that you could do. So single stick, double stick, different grips, different angles. So that gives you a lot of variation. So really what it comes down to is, how do we define the force-to-force block? It's what you're doing, okay? So when an attack is coming in, you're literally meeting it force to force. You're going head on into the attack. And that seems like a really bad idea, right? And let's think about that for a moment. Why is it a bad idea to go head to head with an attack that's coming in? And probably the most simplest reasoning is that I've said to you guys that you should always imagine that the bad guy is going to be bigger, stronger, and meaner than you. So if the bad guy is bigger, stronger, and meaner, to go head to head against that, it's like two trains, gonna crash at each other, but one train is bigger, stronger, and meaner. That seems like a really bad idea, right? So that's the reason why you go, I don't think that's a good idea. Well, there are things that we can do to make it better for us, right? So that we're not just charging into something that's going to be more powerful than us, because then we'll just get crushed, right? So there are things that we do in the technique, but the idea is you're going head to head. And if we're going head to head, why do I want this in my arsenal? And I just said it right now that it's against something that's bigger and more powerful, that it's not a good idea. So then it's like, okay, then literally, why should I even add this to my practice? Why should I have this technique in my toolbox? And the answer, because it's realistic. Let's think about the other option. Other than force to force, what can you do? And if you're not going head to head, if you're not going force to force, then your other option is that you're going to blend in, right? You're going to blend in and you're going to go with the force, okay? So you're going to manipulate that energy. That sounds awesome. That is amazing. And there are many martial arts styles that teach that kind of stuff, where you blend in and you're redirecting, keyword, blend in, redirect the energy, redirect the attack that's coming in. And it's taught as more advanced techniques, right? And that's exactly that. It's advanced. And the question is, how advanced is it? Is it so advanced that I cannot use it? Or can I? And of course, that's going to depend on the person and the situation. So it is definitely something that can be effective. It is definitely something that you can use. But the reality is, it's very, very difficult. So what we need is something to tell you how difficult it is. Okay? Because if that's all you practice, and your style teaches you that, and it's like, this is the advanced stuff, this is the good stuff, you learn that, and then you try it in a real life self-defense situation and you get killed, then it's useless, right? In fact, it got you killed. And it got you killed not because the technique is bad, it's because you didn't know when to use it, and you didn't know how to use it, and you weren't able to do it at all. So we need to have some kind of, from your practice, that lets you know how difficult it is. And the force-to-force block, the partner drill that I've been showing to you guys on my YouTube channel, it's easy to do it. Like you could do single stick and my partner attacks me and I go boom, and I'm going force to force, boom, boom. Okay, and then we take turns. So now it's my turn to attack. So I'm gonna attack my partner, and they have to do the force to force block. Okay, can we change that to a redirect block? Absolutely. So my partner is attacking me, so the attack's coming in, and I can go around it and make that attack. I can redirect it into, practically any direction, almost any direction that I want. So I could practice that too. Try it. Okay, so now put that in your training method, and we do that in Filipino martial arts. Like with the knife, you could, as the attack is coming in, I'll meet it force to force, and that is essentially your gunting, your scissor technique, right? So the attack's coming in, and I'm parrying it, and I'm cutting at it, but it works because their attack was coming this way, right for my jugular, and I move out of the way, and I meet their attack, and this cuts them on the arm. Okay, so that's how you do that. That is the gunting technique. Now, that is force to force, essentially. I am going head to head, even though I moved out of the way. Like I said, there are things that you can do to where you're not literally going head to head because I could crash into it. So I move out of the way, but my weapon is still doing force to force. So can I go the other way? Yes, you can. You can do that. And that is taught where they're coming in to slash me right here, and I slash them on the arm and keep their direction going. Okay, so that's that I'm blending in. So yeah, they teach that. However, if you keep just doing it as it's okay, here's a force to force block, here's a blending, then it's just, that's one drill, that's another drill. Oh, guess what? Blending's better. Let's start doing blending. Okay, forget the force to force block. That's what it turns into. You never put it into place. When you put it into place, when you start increasing the actual speed, the actual power, then you realize that the force to force block is much, much easier to do. It is way easier to time it. That is the reality. Okay. So that I don't know how to explain it other than like, okay, it's like someone who has never done boxing before, never sparred before, okay? And then they're teaching them the different punches. Here's your jab, here's your cross, here's your hook, here's your uppercut. And you can tell them like the hook has a very high KO rate. Then they go, you know what? I don't want to learn any of the other punches. I just want to learn the hook then because that has the highest knockout rate. Then I'm just going to work on my hook. That's all I'm going to do. Try sparring, and you're going to see that if that's all you got, and that's all you practice, and even though the hook has a high KO rate, you're probably not going to be able to land that at all. You do need your jab. You do need your cross. You're going to need your uppercut, to not be so predictable. You're going to find all that out, and then you're going to go, okay, so really everything works off of kind of a really good jab. So the jab is super important. See, you don't get that just from looking at the techniques. So this is the same thing. The force to force block is kind of like your jab. It becomes your foundation. It is so good. It is so realistic in that sense. Now, technique-wise, if you compare it to, like I said, the blending technique and where you get to redirect stuff, it's not in the same category. That's way better. It's way more advanced. But the percentage, the force-to-force block is a much higher probability for you to actually pull it off in a real-life situation. Under pressure, under stress, so the force-to-force block should be your friend. Now from there, in a very difficult situation, you may, rise up to the occasion and have the ability to do a redirecting, a blending technique. If you can, then that's great. More power to you. But I guarantee you, your base, your foundation will be the force-to-force block. And that's what's missing today is nobody says that. No one comes out and says, you need to have this kind of base. So that's why I'm saying to you, the force-to-force block is excellent. Definitely add it to your arsenal. And that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.